a KQED television production.
Of like sort of old Fisherman's Wharf. It reminds me of old San Francisco, and that's...
You'd be a little like Jean Valjean with the teeth or whatever.
And worth the calories, the cholesterol, and the heart attack you might have.
It was like an adventure, you know? It felt like you're kind of putting on your miner's helmet.
It reminds me of oatmeal with a touch of wet dog.
I did. Inhale.
I always tell people when they say sommelier, you say it sommelier, so som-el-yay.
Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by
Check Please Bay Area is proudly sponsored by the law offices of Daniel Feder, providing legal representation on a contingency basis for over 20 years to thousands of Bay Area employees in disputes with their former employers. From wrongful termination to discrimination and sexual harassment, Daniel Feder and his team provide support and solutions to employees and other injured persons seeking resolution. More information at dfederlaw.com. IRG has thousands of natural stone surfaces, all in stock today. IRG, online at marblecompany.com. Bay Area Subaru dealers. Opportunities to test drive the 2014 Subaru Forester are available at local Subaru dealers. Subaru, online at subaru.com. Donate your car to KQED's Vehicle Donation Program to help raise funds for quality public media. Powered by Cars.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sabraco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. We have 3 guests, and each one recommends one of their favorite spots, and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think. First, college student Christopher Powell is studying business and working 2 jobs and needs fuel to keep him on track. He's young, he rocks, he loves beer and happy hour and escaping to his local sanctuary. And journalist and radio host Scott Schaefer uses the topic of food to break the ice. He finds food a common language in a region that can be divided by culture and race. Sharing a meal begins the conversation. But first, for marketing director Joan Rosenberg, dining out is a hobby worth indulging, and she does often, especially when it involves treating herself to the spicy Hunan, Szechuan, and Mandarin flavors at her local spot. On Piedmont Avenue in Oakland, it's called Little Shin Shin Restaurant.
My name's Dennis Huang. I'm the manager of Little Shin Shin Restaurant. I have worked here for 24 years. Little Shin Shin Restaurant has been here 31 years. Our menu has Hunan, Sichuan, Mandarin cuisine, also has some Cantonese style food. The current owner is Mr. Guo Changyan. We use less salt, less oil, no MSG, use very fresh ingredients to make all the food delicious. Our customers like our restaurant because our staffs give their warm welcome. They usually come with whole families. Mr. Zhu Xinxu is the co-owner, also the head chef. Our goal is best customer service. Customer happy, we are happy. Thank you all the customers voting us as the best Chinese restaurant. We like to do the best we can to keep all the food as good as usual. Thank you.
Joan, Little Shin Shin, now you've been going there a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm going to just say more than 20 years.
And what is it that brings you back time and time and time again?
Well, the dish that brings me back time and time again is the hot and sour soup. It is the first thing I asked for after I had a major back surgery and could eat solid food again. When I'm sick, you know, that's what I crave the most. And they make a vegetarian version for me. They make it with a lot of mushrooms. They have tofu, and then they add bamboo, which has a little bit of texture to it. And the broth is thickened with a little bit of cornstarch. And so it just makes it like, you know, stick to your ribs at the same time like a meal, but also warms your stomach like a soup.
I can't say it lived up to
your bias.
my expectations of hot and sour soup.
Now, why is that? What were you
Hotter
expecting?
and more sour. So
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
It's just like a more extreme. It's not as thick, so like I kind of liked that, but I don't know. It's a little too thick for me. But it was really good all the same.
You're making me wish I'd ordered the hot and sour soup so I could break the tie.
Right.
Oh.
So tell us, what did you have, Scott?
We had wonton soup. It was a pork wonton. It was very nice. It also had fresh vegetables in it, like some snow peas, a little bit of carrots, mushroom. It was light, but also substantive, and the wontons were just perfect consistency. So it was nice. The dish that I really loved was the Shin Shin prawns, which was like a sweet and sour prawns, perfectly done. That sauce was so good. At the end, I was like, scraping it off the dish onto my rice. I could have taken a cup home to drink.
I think it's like a cornstarch coating that they put on, so it's not super thick, and then they flash fry them. The shrimp themselves stay tender, but the outside is a little crispy, but then when you pour the sauce over it, it just absorbs that sauce without being too thick and doughy.
Right.
And we weren't going to order that, but the waiter, who was terrific, suggested it.
Did you have Dennis, the waiter?
I didn't catch his name, but he's the manager, I found out later. And he was just really helpful. We had ordered a bunch of things, and he said, well, this and this are kind of alike, so why don't you order that? And,
All I can say is you should have tried the broccoli beef.
Was broccoli beef your favorite?
Broccoli beef was something that reminded me when I was little. I used to go to a Chinese restaurant like 3 to 4 times a week when I was like 5 or 6, and whenever I'd walk in, they would just be like, oh, broccoli beef. Like, it tasted like that. Like, broccoli was perfectly cooked. It wasn't mushy. It was like crunchy still. Beef super tender. It has the right flavor. They add a lot of ginger to it. It was very good.
I've had the Kung Pao chicken, which
Okay.
is got a spicy, thick sauce, not very sweet, but it also comes with hot peppers, the red ones that are dried and mixed in when they saute the chicken. It's not, doesn't ruin your palate to where it's like leaves it so hot, sensitive hot to like the spiciness, but it's just enough.
Did you feel it was spicy? Did you get
The asparagus, I had the asparagus chicken.
But did you feel like the dishes were spicy?
Perfect. I thought they were perfectly spicy.
Yeah.
Not overdone.
Yeah.
Like I said, with that sauce on the prawns, just like I was wanting more.
Yeah.
That would have been a good dessert.
The Shin Shin prawns are the best.
Yeah, really
And what
good.
about the asparagus chicken?
That was my least favorite dish. I think it had kind of an oyster sauce. The asparagus was great. It was diced and it was done perfectly. It wasn't overdone. Again, it didn't seem like it was sitting on a steam table somewhere for an hour before we ate it. It was definitely fresh.
Like the green beans.
We had the
dry fried green beans.
We had I think they were dry cooked.
Dry
green
cooked
beans,
green-
they were really nice.
Those are so
perfectly
good.
done. A nice light sauce. They didn't have they weren't too salty the way sometimes beans can be when you get them in a Chinese restaurant with black beans or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. So it was wonderful. I have to say Chinese is not my favorite cuisine. I don't go out of my way necessarily. I'd rather have Vietnamese or Thai. But this was really, really good. I enjoyed it. On the wall, they have all these framed reviews.
Best Chinese food.
Yeah.
A lot of options in there. And some unique and interesting dishes. Have you ever heard of some of those dishes?
Sizzling rice soup.
Really?
I've never heard of
That's
this
a classic.
before. What is this?
What is going on?
It's cool. It comes out. It's really hot. It's making a bunch of noise, and they throw it in the soup,
Right.
and it. And I don't know if I was interested in having it, but like
It's good.
it looks fun.
It's very dramatic.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Did you
saves
feel
the
that you
crowd.
got value?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Like I mean, I had food for like 2 days. Like it was cool. Like yeah.
A lot of leftovers.
Yeah, a lot of leftovers.
I think we ate for 15 a person last time I was
Wow.
there, and we went with 5 people.
I actually thought there was a mistake on the bill after we added it all up and divided it by 4. I was like,
Right.
really? No,
Right.
it was a good deal.
All right, Joan, this is your spot. Give us a quick summary.
Well, I mean, for 20 years, it's been my comfort Chinese food go-to in the neighborhood that I'm very familiar with. Consistent service, consistent food, always a good place to go.
All right, and Scott.
I would say if you're in the neighborhood, definitely stop in. Good service, very friendly neighborhood joint with memorable dishes.
All right, Chris.
All right, so if you're in Piedmont, I guess, and you aren't trying to go to Oakland Chinatown for Chinese food, I'd say you could go there. Like, say you're catching a movie around the corner at the movie theater.
All
I'd
right.
say go there.
If you would like to try Little Shin Shin restaurant, it's on Piedmont Avenue at Echo Avenue in Oakland. The telephone number is 510-658-9799. It's open for lunch and dinner every day. Reservations are accepted for parties of 5 or more, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $25. Traditional skills have been honed at Christopher's Place, where cured meat and beer is king. A mix of local and European-sourced ingredients add to the friendly pub vibe. You'll find his spot in San Carlos on Laurel Street at the Refuge.
Here's the Refuge in a nutshell. The best pastrami, period. I'll put it up against anybody. I love seeing people take the first bite. I know they're about to be blindsided by something they never had before. My name is Matt Levin. I'm the owner of the Refuge in San Carlos. It's a high-energy place. It's real casual. You're getting as many beer styles as you can even imagine. House-ground burgers, cheesesteaks, tons of different appetizers prepared by cooks that are classically trained. To do pastrami the way it's been done in any real pastrami places where you have to hand slice it, is you take the navel cut, throw in special brine, rub it with spices, put a little smoke on it, and then steam it for a very, very long time. The best way to have pastrami is on rye bread with coleslaw, Russian dressing, and Swiss cheese if it were me. I lived in Montmartre, France, and my metro stop was La Marcolincourt, and every day I used to walk out of that, and just to the right there was a restaurant called Le Refuge. I just saw people relaxing out on the patio, eating pork rillettes and duck confit, and I said, I will have that one day.
Okay, Chris, you strike me as a kind of a beer and pastrami guy.
I'm very much a beer and pastrami guy.
And there's 100 beers at this place, isn't there?
There is a ridiculous amount of beers. They hand you a binder if you ask for it.
That's right.
And they also have an app for iPhones.
Right.
But yeah, if you look it up, it's just everything they have in their little fridge, and that's everything that's bottled and then on tap.
And on tap. And they've got about 18, 20 on tap.
18 usually I think is what they go for, and it's like local, and then they specialize in Belgian beers. It's in a big neon lights on the outside of the building. Right. Just one of the things they do there. But they really specialize in their pastrami. Like, I haven't been to Katz's Delicatessen because that's
in New York. Man, that's the classic.
That's the gold standard in pastrami.
Right.
But I've had quite a bit of pastrami in my day, and I think this is the best I've ever had. Superb pastrami. It's hard to put into words exactly how great it is. And I didn't even really fully appreciate it until I had the pastrami burger there. And the pastrami burger takes it to the next level because it's basically an entire sandwich of pastrami on top of a delicious hamburger, which is settled upon a delicious bun, and then they put their house-made sauerkraut on top.
It's about as big as your head.
It's I don't usually cut hamburgers in half to eat them or sandwiches. I just go at it. But this is definitely something that has to be cut so I can make it more manageable.
Do they do a vegan version of it?
Not exactly.
No.
Nor do they do turkey.
No, this is really about meat.
Real
You got
pastrami.
it. Yeah. Now, being a vegetarian-ish,
recovering vegetarian,
were you able to order?
Yeah, there were a lot of options for me. I took a girlfriend that was a vegetarian, but I brought my sister, who's a avid meat eater, and she makes her own beer, so she was a good person to bring.
That's right.
I was able to get a scallop salad that was made with chopped cabbage, some green onions. The dressing they served was like a spicy peanut dressing that just tied it all together. The scallops were pretty big and super tender, perfectly cooked. It was like huge. It came in this huge bowl, and I think there was 4 or 5 big scallops. And I split it with someone.
We had the scallop salad also. It was really good. We started with that, and it was nice. It was very nice, perfect size. I love the peanut dressing.
Right. The nachos, the barbacoa nachos, and the pickled veggies were the hit for us.
Very well known for the pickled vegetables.
The pickled veggies were outstanding. I mean, we gobbled them up, and I'd never had jicama and mushrooms, and there was a broccoli that were all pickled, and of course they had the cornichons and carrots and the standard like little pearl onions, but every veggie had almost a different pickling seasoning on it, and they were to die for.
There's a side dish we had, which I really did like. It was the coriander glazed carrots. And they were very freshly done. They weren't overdone. They weren't raw. You know, it was just perfect consistency, and the glaze was just the right combination of salt and herbs, and it was very, very nice. It was a great way to start the meal.
My sister is the meat eater, and she ordered the cheddar burger, medium rare, but it came medium well. And then she wanted the goofy fries, which is the fries that have the pastrami on it, because someone had to come and go eat the pastrami. She didn't get the goofy fries. They brought out the garlic fries instead of the goofy fries.
Did she say, bring me the goofy fries?
She didn't send them back, but
I ordered the pastrami sandwich. I gotta say, I wasn't feeling it.
Oh.
Really?
Sorry, you know what?
I
you know
wanted
what?
a turkey pastrami.
You know what? I thought the meat was too lean. I mean,
Really?
for me, and I realize that's very healthy, but for me, like if you're gonna get corned beef or pastrami, the flavor is in the fat,
Exactly.
right? And I actually took the top off of it to look. It was very lean. And we also had the cheesesteak, the ribeye cheesesteak, which I guess they're kind of known for. Also, I don't know if that's a favorite of yours. And it was a little dry, I have to say. I was a little disappointed.
Did you wash it down with some beer?
I did. I think it was an IPA, not a Belgian beer. I think they're known for Belgian beers in particular. I usually drink wine with dinner, but I felt compelled to order the beer with that binder sitting there.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I'd like to add they have nice ciders too.
Absolutely, they have ciders.
Really good pear cider that had like its own personal stamp and autograph by the the maker. I mean, it was like a numbered bottle. It was delicious. Pear and apple, I think.
The place was packed too. I mean, we went around 6:30, 7 o'clock on a weekday, and there was a line out the door, and it was very lively. You know, sort of like a sports bar meets deli. You know, there were TV, there were games on. You know, there was it's
a neighborhood hangout.
That's really what it seemed like when I was there last. Like I'd never seen this before there, but somebody came in and was like, "Hey, can I get a half sandwich? I'm not that hungry. I just want to get a half sandwich and a beer." And like, it's not on the menu or anything, but they were like, "Oh yeah, totally. We'll just charge you half price."
And let's talk a little bit about dessert here, because there are a few special desserts on this list.
The hit was the pot de creme.
The chocolate pot de creme.
The chocolate pot de creme. It was delicious. It was velvety. It was light. It wasn't too heavy. It had almost a raspberry chocolate flavor to it, even though that wasn't described as being raspberry chocolate. It had that rich, velvety kind of chocolate.
The chocolate pot de creme was the one thing that was tempting.
Yeah.
And if I went back, I would probably try that, but we just didn't have any room.
It is heavy food.
Yeah. All right, Chris, this is your spot. Give us a quick summary.
All right, so the Refuge is a great place for a Belgian beer and/or American beer, and a big pastrami sandwich or hamburger.
All right, and Scott?
Great, friendly neighborhood place with good small dishes, but if you're looking for a great pastrami sandwich, head to Katz's in New York.
All right, and Joan?
Great place to go if you're into beer, ciders, and heavy food.
All right, if you would like to try the Refuge, it's on Laurel at Arroyo in San Carlos. The telephone number is 650-598-9813. It's open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Saturday, closed on Sunday and Monday. Reservations are accepted for parties of 8 or more, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $20. You see it on lots of bottles, Central Coast. If you're thinking that's a pretty broad area, you're right. California's Central Coast appellation runs from Santa Barbara in the south up to our neck of the vineyards in San Francisco. Encompassing 6 counties and 100,000 acres of grapes, the common thread of wines from Central Coast is vibrancy. The ocean's cooling effect brings sweeping breezes to temper sunny California days, allowing grapes to ripen slowly and maintain acidity. Many grapes adore these conditions, but Pinot Noir and Chardonnay really thrive. 2 spots on the Central Coast for touring and tasting are Santa Cruz, known for thrills and chills, and Monterey, where you can visit the aquarium and stop for a nibble on Cannery Row. They're also ideal starting points for a journey to neighboring wine regions. The rugged Santa Cruz Mountains disguise the beauty of Pinots emerging from their hills, while Monterey County's bucolic swaths of vineyard-blanketed countryside, including my favorite area, the Santa Lucia Highlands, produce world-class Pinot Noir and Chardonnay that will wow any enological adventurer. Cheers. The small space with every nook and cranny occupied by tables and bar makes Scott's Place perfect for the Spanish-inspired cuisine with a California touch. Appetizers, classic tapas, or large plates, it's all there on Market Street in San Francisco at Canela Bistro and Wine Bar.
Our inspiration for Canela came from trips to Spain and just being inspired by the amazing food and the service and the presentations, and we wanted to capture that and bring that back here. My name is Matt Schuster, and I'm the chef and co-owner of Canela Bistro and Wine Bar. Paco's my partner, and he grew up in Madrid. Many of our recipes came from Paco's family and Paco's mom teaching me her recipes in her kitchen in Madrid. He tests everything that we're doing, and he is not afraid to tell us if it is not exactly what he grew up with. There's a farmer's market half a block away. Every Wednesday you'll find either myself or Justin, our sous chef, there. We like to combine with the local ingredients that we're getting many items imported from Spain. We get a lot of our hams from Spain, spices, cheeses, and we're always trying to find more and more to put on our menu. Paco chooses all of the wines. We have, I think, one of the most extensive wine menus of Spanish wine in San Francisco right now. Most of our business is really comprised of the people who live around in the neighborhood, folks that we see sometimes even 3 times a week, which is great. When the folks who are dining here are having a great time and they love the food and the atmosphere, then we're the happiest people in the world.
All right, Scott, let's talk Spanish cuisine. I'm a huge fan of Spanish anything, Spanish wine, Spanish cuisine.
Well, there aren't, if you think about it, for all the Spanish-speaking people in the Bay Area, there aren't a lot of Spanish restaurants. And so when this one opened up on Market Street in a space that had been a pizza joint for many, many years.
About 3 years now, right?
Yeah, it's been 2.5, 3 years, exactly. We were eager to go there, and we've been back many times. It's sort of intimate. You're right, it's packed, but you don't feel like people are on top of you. It's obviously Spanish-inspired, but like a lot of restaurants in the Bay Area, it sort of has its own local California twist. I really like the garlicky prawns, the gambas. Very good. They're kind of seared on the grill, and they prepare them differently depending on when you go. When we were there, they had a spicy tomato sauce with them. I love the calamari. They grill it, and sometimes it's stuffed with different things, but it's on top of, usually on top of a little bit of frisee, lettucey kinds of thing. And they won't have it if it's not fresh. One night we were there, they didn't have it. They said because they didn't come in with the fishermen.
And what did you have when you went, Chris?
They had almejas, which are these clams. It's my new favorite clam dish I've ever had. It's like filled with lemon, white wine, garlic, and then they cook it with fennel too. I also had the garlicky prawns. They were very good. Me and the person I was eating with, we had an argument over which was better, and we had to ask for more bread because we wanted to get all of the
Sop it all up.
Yeah.
And Joan, what was your experience?
We were not.
Look at her. She's going,
She's pulling her punches.
I have a bias in my heart for Spanish food. I've been to Spain twice.
Yeah.
I was looking for paella, and there was no paella. We were very sad about that. The garlicky gambas were not, for us, it was more of a shrimping broth. It wasn't what I envision as or have had as garlicky gambas. Our favorite dishes were the tortilla española, which came out super seared, layered with potato, egg, onion, and served with this roasted red pepper sauce. So good. And then the stuffed peppers, piquillo pimientos, stuffed with like a goat cheese that seemingly had been mixed with green onion and Spanish spices, and then baked, smothered in this pepper sauce. It was definitely spicy, and they were piping hot, delicious, probably the best I've ever had. And we just kept asking for more bread because it was so good.
The bread was so fresh.
The bread was so fresh and so good. A girlfriend of mine had the riblets, and she said the meat was falling off the bone and delicious, and the sauce was good.
But you were hesitating before. Were there some dishes that you didn't enjoy?
Well, I felt like the stuff was not seasoned enough. Always wanted salt.
Interesting.
The patatas bravas were soggy and didn't come with an aioli. There's a red sauce that comes with the patatas bravas usually, and you mix the aioli and the red sauce together. So we were a little disappointed on that level. Maybe it was just the night.
Was that just an off night for you?
Yeah, maybe it was just the night.
Or did you maybe have an off night?
It's funny because when I was there, the night we were there, we had the asparagus soup, which was delicious. And I thought it was just perfectly seasoned. I thought it was, just the right amount of salt. The night we were there, I thought that was just right.
And what other dishes did you have?
I had the piquillo peppers as well. I also had the croquetas de jamon, which were very good. It's made with the bechamel sauce. They were like very cheesy and hammy, I guess. They were very good and crunchy. They also had a lamb kebab that night. That was very good. It tasted like it had been marinated for a while, and it was just like fresh off the grill.
Let's talk a little bit about wine because we were talking about wine.
We were, yeah.
And I'm
wine list.
Spanish wine is one of my passions.
Yep.
And they have a lovely, it's not large list.
It's not large, but there were a number of good bottles for, $35, $28, $35, $40, $50. And in fact, the waitress steered us toward a crianza from Rioja, and it was perfect with the food that we ordered. But I really do appreciate it when a restaurant doesn't try to gouge you on the wine.
The prices are good.
Really good.
Very good sangria.
Did you?
And the sangria is not too sweet, right?
No, it was
really
not.
Good.
I had the red one, and the person I was eating with had the white. The white one was very fruity. The red one was very subtle, I guess, as a sangria.
And that's a great way to go.
Yeah.
Sangria.
All
right, now let's get to the churros.
Churros. bananas is all I can say about those churros.
So good.
Like, the person I was
good.
eating with does not like churros at all, doesn't like the way they smell, doesn't like the way they taste. And
Because it can remind you of some really bad carnival
yeah,
food.
that's I think that's really
Funnel
what it is. It's just
cake.
like
Yeah.
the bad oil or whatever.
Right.
She's now like, I got to go back for my birthday.
She wants the churros.
Yeah, and like we don't eat dessert like a lot now. Now this is the thing because it came with the dulce de leche and the chocolate sauce.
The dipping sauces.
And like if you go with both on there, oh, it's crazy.
They're super light, super flaky, but crispy at the same time, and just like you can just have cinnamon and sugar all over your hands.
Yeah.
When you're done.
We didn't have the churros, but we ordered the crema catalana, which is a Spanish creme brulee, which was fantastic. We've had candied ginger on top of it, and then we ordered the arroz con leche, the rice pudding. Fantastic. I mean, I would have that for any meal, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
All right, this is your spot, Scott. Wrap it up for us.
All right, if you're looking for great tapas, sangria, wine, great dishes to share at a great price, check out Canela.
All right, Chris.
If you're looking for like reasonably priced tapas and you enjoy good people watching, I saw 3 car accidents while I ate my dinner. Go to Canela and check it out.
All right,
Good time.
Joan.
Great place for good wine and a nosh in San Francisco if you're in the neighborhood.
All right. If you would like to try Canela Bistro and Wine Bar, it's on Market between Noe and Sanchez in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-552-3000. It's open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Monday. Reservations are recommended, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $45. So I want to thank my guests on this week's show, Joan Rosenberg, who revealed the traditional Hunan, Szechuan, and Mandarin flavors at her local go-to spot of Little Shin Shin restaurant, and Christopher Powell, who piles on the pastrami and shares the beer on tap at the Refuge. Finally, Scott Schaefer, whose Touch of Spain in San Francisco invites discussion at Canela Bistro and Wine Bar. Don't forget that you can visit our website at kqed.org/checkplease to find out information on each and every restaurant in all 8 seasons of the series. You can add your comments on this or any of the episodes. We want to know what you think about the places featured. You'll also find information on all of the wines we're drinking today, including this red from Pride Mountain. So don't forget to join us next time when 3 new guests will recommend their favorite spots right here on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sbrocco, and I'll see you then. Cheers.
Cheers.
This show is available in high definition, on demand, and via podcast. For additional information on the restaurants featured, to comment, or to apply to be on the show, go to our website at kqed.org/checkplease. Check Please Bay Area is made possible by the members of KQED and by
Check Please Bay Area is proudly sponsored by the law offices of Daniel Feder, providing legal representation on a contingency basis for over 20 years to thousands of Bay Area employees in disputes with their former employers. From wrongful termination to discrimination and sexual harassment, Daniel Feder and his team provide support and solutions to employees and other injured persons seeking resolution. More information at dfederlaw.com. IRG has thousands of natural stone surfaces, all in stock today. IRG, online at marblecompany.com. Bay Area Subaru dealers. Opportunities to test drive the 2014 Subaru Forester are available at local Subaru dealers. Subaru, online at subaru.com. Donate your car to KQED's Vehicle Donation Program to help raise funds for quality public media. Powered by Cars. A KQED television production.